I mean, none of it was me. Like all of, you know, especially at that time, pretty much all of our lines were written word for word for us. And there wasn't much. I mean, when you're a low level character on NXT, you don't have creative control. Like that's silly to think that you would. So yeah, I wouldn't say any of that was me. I would say the parts of it that were me were like um pushing the limits. When we did things that were really risque, or when we did things that were pushing the limits, or you know, too sexual, or all that kind of shit, that's where I was really on board for it, because I was like, look, if we're gonna do this, like if you're making me make out with someone every week who's not my boyfriend, then we need to have something to show for it. So let's go balls to the wall. Let's go as ridiculous and over the top as possible. So at least it'll gain traction and get views and all of that, which it did. So that side of it, like once we were given, the story, then I was like, okay, let's go 110%. Like, let's commit to it. So that side, as far as like going really far, that was me. But I feel a lot more connected to what I'm doing now than I did back then.
Okay. On the flip side of that, is there any part of Persia that you brought with you or that you keep with you now? Something that maybe you learned, whether it was nuance or something more obvious?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I learned from that, which I kind of already knew, but I think that experience really solidified for me that like sex sells. And, if that's an element that you have as part of your character, it's a great way to get views. It's a great way to make money. It's a great way to connect with a certain fan base. Like that, that is what I took away from that, was like everyone is interested by sexual content, whether it's a child, an adult, a male, a female, a grandma, like whatever it is. If you see something sexually provocative on television, it's going to turn people's heads and it's going to catch their attention, even if it's for a second, even if they like it, they don't like it, they disagree with it, whatever it is, it gets people talking. And I realized that. So I definitely, kind of kept in line with that, with my new lipstick and my OnlyFans and some of my merch and all of that, like towing that line, being a little bit cheeky, being a little bit inappropriate, but in a fun way. But that's my personality anyways, like that's not something new. But yeah, that's an element from Persia that I've definitely kept with Steph De Lander for sure.